what's happening.
Yeah.
What's happening is, man,
Magic Mahomes.
If the question is football, for me, the answer is Patrick Mahomes. Like, this dude, everyone is so quick to want to put Josh Allen with him, Justin Herbert, Lamar. Like, there are lots of guys who look incredible. Patrick Mahomes, to me, key. Chiefs beat the Bucs 41-31, and it wasn't really as close as that. Patrick Mahomes, to me, is the reason, like, we have tiers. I say Patrick Mahomes is his own tier, and I think everybody else is fighting to see who gets put next to him. He did things last night, and you're looking at the play right now that I'm thinking of. Key, how does a dude do something like that in the NFL? He's so calm. It's like he's, I just haven't seen that level before.
Well, it's just different. I think you see some of that same stuff in guys like Josh Allen, guys like Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. They do all the Houdini, Aaron Rodgers, the Houdini stuff. So, but his is just, it's almost like you expect for him to do something outrageous. And on top of that, it's the play calling of Eric Bieniemy at the goal line, creating certain things along with Andy Reid that when you look at, you go, why would they do that? Why would they line up?
He wasn't mad at
and
Bieniemy last night.
Excuse me?
I said he wasn't mad at Bieniemy last night.
No, he wasn't. He wouldn't have take any issue with Eric last night. But just in general, when you have a quarterback that can just do so much, no matter who's out there with him, from the receiver standpoint, he's making the necessary adjustments to get this team in a position to continue to put up points. He had the ill-advised interception, obviously, but what can you say? As long as the defense can keep playing the way that they've been playing, I think they're going to be fine. The thing that Kansas City's got to do is they got to learn how to completely close teams out and not let teams even have a thought in their mind that they can make a comeback.
Yeah, that Kansas City defense only allowed 2 plays of more than 20 yards, right? That's what you want to see from a defense against Tom Brady. I got to tell you, though, yesterday for me, this 3-headed race that we have thus far for MVP, we had Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen going head-to-head, and then we have Patrick Mahomes going, obviously, against Tom Terrific, right? Tom Brady. And Lamar and Josh look so special. It looks different. But the pizzazz, though, that Patrick has, like in that, once again, what game did you see last? What have you done for me lately? Like the game, the spin move. It's almost like last time watching him, I'm like, damn, because I'm hearing Tim Hasselbeck talk to on SportsCenter after the game with Scott Van Pelt, and he's like, man, he just defies all the traditional ways you go about how a quarterback is built, throwing the ball across his body, spin moves, lob passes like a point guard. Almost reminds me of a Magic Johnson type like player, like a playmaker, like a floor general, but a field general.
Yeah, if you heard his dad played in the NBA, that would make more sense than MLB, right? His dad was a left-handed flame-throwing relief pitcher who wasn't that good, but he could throw hard, right? Mahomes, you can see that's where the arm comes from. But where does this stuff come from?
I don't know, man. And by the way, 9 of his touchdown passes came to either tight ends or running backs. So everybody talks about, where's Tyreek Hill, the loss of that max, right, Key? But the way this dude utilizes people like Fortson, the way he utilizes like Hilaire, Kelsey, he's all his assets. It's like, hey, take it.
Here's the thing. There were 2 motivations here, or at least from Key J, a media narrative, right? There are 2 motivations that you could write about or think about, talk about. There's one for the Chiefs, the way they looked last week they made 11 straight mistakes to lose to the Colts, the lowly Colts at the time. You got to think got to prove something this week. And then also, Josh Allen starts the year MVP favorite. Then the 2 hot picks other than Allen are Lamar and Justin Herbert. It is only week 4. Who's the MVP favorite right now? Right now, if you had to give an MVP, including Jalen Hurts has looked really good. There's someone coming out. Jalen Hurts is.
Yeah, he was in that conversation
but,
too. Yeah.
Well,
clearly,
right now it's Patrick Mahomes, but his motivation wasn't about individually. I think as a team, the motivation was getting back what happened 2 years ago down in Tampa when they lost to the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl. They wanted to show what it would look like at full strength against a defense that was at full strength. That's what I looked at last night when I was watching the game. I said to myself, okay, he's back at the scene of the crime where they lost in the Super Bowl, but now they're at full strength on the offensive line. Although there's no Tyreek Hill, he still has a plethora of weapons. He also has his tight end. He has running backs. This is what we would look like if we see y'all again.
I wasn't even thinking that, which is another obvious big picture motivation.
The individual
now
stuff.
it's Brady whose offensive line
The
isn't so great.
individual stuff, losing to Indianapolis and worrying about the MVPs, that's not in his mindset. It's not in their mindset. Going down there and unleashing what they did and hanging 41 points on a Tampa defense that historically has, done pretty good under Todd Bowles in this league. But to do what they did in Raymond James Stadium and with the world watching on a Sunday night was pretty amazing.
Wait, I have a question for all you guys. I mean, is it? I don't think it's clearly that Patrick Mahomes is in the lead now for MVP. Do you?
I'm saying this. It's week 4. Who would you give your MVP vote to? Hurts?
I mean, probably Hurts right now.
I give it to Mahomes.
I mean, it's hard for me to go with the team that's undefeated and the things I've seen Jalen Hurts do. I mean, Josh Allen. I don't know if it's
Hurts
just
got
clear.
a defense.
But that's here. Okay, here's my. When somebody says clearly it's Patrick, I don't know if it's clearly. I don't know if it's clearly one over the other, just like that.
Well, I think Mahomes.
Because last week coming off the Colts game, you wouldn't have said clearly it was Patrick Mahomes.
No, right. That was the one hiccup, but that's the kind of game that underscores it for me. Everything went wrong. They made so many mistakes to barely lose.
So let me ask you a question.
Otherwise,
let me ask you this.
Looked better
okay,
than
so
everyone
let me
else.
ask you this. So obviously, we saw Josh Allen fumble it against Miami, right?
Yep.
We've seen that.
Yep.
We saw Lamar Jackson, even though his play was high, but him throwing the pick yesterday at the end,
And
2
they stopped
interceptions,
scoring points
and
in
they
the
stopped
second
scoring
half.
points.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
we saw Patrick Mahomes fumble it one time, not fumble it, but essentially the team not winning against the Colts. Like, what has Jalen Hurts done to lose your confidence?
Nothing.
So, like, why isn't Jalen Hurts leading this conversation?
Patrick Mahomes better than him?
I feel like he's better than him, yes, but is he having a better season?
Yeah, I mean, I would
don't
say
know.
this.
I don't know.
I would say this. You're right. Hurts hasn't made a lot of mistakes. Key, it doesn't seem to me. The Eagles just showed you we can beat you in the air, we can beat you on the ground. But going into the season, you looked at both sides of the ball, offensive line, secondary, whatever you want to look at the Eagles, it looks good, even heading into the season. Whereas the Chiefs never really hang their hat on their defense. A lot is on Mahomes.
Yeah, but the Chiefs get to the AFC Championship game every year.
Yeah.
So I hear you,
That's
but I mean,
part of why I like Mahomes. He's always there.
Well, Patrick Mahomes is 1. Jalen Hurts has moved into the 2nd spot. Josh Allen's in the 3rd. Lamar, because of the interception, late drops to 4.
I agree.
Okay.
That's my ranking.
Patrick Mahomes is going to get the benefit of the doubt because he's already won one, and he's Patrick Mahomes. And that's the way the bar goes. And Aaron Rodgers will slide in there late in the season and fight for the 1, 2, 3 spot as the season wears on and his receivers get accustomed to him dropping balls in the breadbasket.
100%. That's exactly how I feel. And the one caveat I will say is the Justin Herbert thing, that's the ribs. Like, if Justin Herbert never gets his ribs barbecued, he's fine.
Slow it down.
No. Herbert is easily on the level of all those guys in terms of
slow it down.
You saw the Chargers Chiefs
good.
game. Herbert's not
he's
just
good, but stop trying to push him up there.
Not this year because he's hurt, Key. But until he got hurt.
Let him get to the playoffs before you start talking about an
that's
MVP.
a fair point. That is a fair point. All right, listen. Lamar Jackson is playing at an MVP level. But are the Ravens in the conversation with Kansas City and with Buffalo in the AFC? Got to start scoring points in the second half. First, this word from Omega.